We are back for another Christian review of regular books, and today we are discussing Run by Blake Crouch. For those of you who've never seen one of these videos before, here's how it's going to go down. First, I do my regular review, what you know and love to expect from a book review, star rating, my own personal opinion, etc. But I do it all without spoiling the book for you. But then I get into my Christian review, and that's where I go over the basic pieces of a book that may or may not have a fellow believer or truly anyone wanting to read it. I give more caveats and any more information you may need about these reviews at the video that's pinned at the top of the playlist. Or you should be able to click here somewhere. However, if you're still here, let's go ahead and get into my regular review. Run by Blake Crouch is truly a perfect high suspense sci-fi. I really appreciated when I read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I felt like it kept me engaged and I was interested. I wanted to know what was happening. I was constantly following along with all the different pieces. And Run is no different. Run feels so easy to read. I sped read through that book and I did not want to put it down. I also loved the kind of uncomfortable family dynamics and the unknowns of what was going to happen and when it was going to happen. I felt like there was a lot of great elements to this book that really kept me engaged from beginning to end. I could not put it down and loved the characters and rooted for the characters in ways that I don't often do in most books. This one had me just totally gripped from beginning to end. Where I was bummed is how it ended. It ended with a resolution, but without an explanation for the resolution. So you get through this entire book and you never find out why it happened. And that was so hard for me to grasp because I just wanted to understand why they had gone through everything that they had gone through. And it almost kind of feels like the ending was wrapped up too quickly with a bow and you don't really get the way and why and how, so that you feel like the bow makes sense. However, I still had a fantastic time with this book and I rated it 4.5 stars. If you want to see everything that I'm reading and rating in real time, you can do so by following me on Goodreads. You can also find me on Instagram, TikTok, and I do have my own YouTube channel, so if you're wanting to see more of my day-to-day reading and life journey, check the links down below in the description box. For now, let's go ahead and get into my Christian review. The first category is if there's any smut or spice. I believe there's one spicy scene, but it is between married couples and it's very easy to skip past. The second category is if there's any explicit language, and there is. There is a lot of explicit language. It was actually more explicit language than I usually read, and I was surprised by how extensive it was. And the third category is violence and gore, and again, I'm gonna say absolutely, there was a ton of violence and gore. There was not as much gore as I would say is a horror, but I would say it borders right on the edge of a horror book. But there is also a lot of violence, a lot of actions done to this family that's trying to run. And so it's very intense. And in that way, I do think this book is probably best for anyone aged 18 and up due to those categories. I just think it has a lot of pictures and ideas that maybe you wouldn't want your teenager to read. Before you go, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can stay up to date on all of these Christian reviews of regular books, plus me and my mom's podcast. On top of doing that so that you stay up to date, it also helps us know that the content we're providing is content you want to keep seeing. And since we're a nonprofit, it's like a free way for you to donate to our ministry and helps us continue to do the content that you most want to see. So before you go, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, or maybe even comment. And we cannot wait until we see you on the next one.